People First Podcast is a show presented by people with learning disabilities for our friends and community. We talk about issues that are important to us and interview interesting guests to find out new information. This is our way to make a difference.
We come to the People First podcast. On the episode, we will be speaking to Janine and David, who are visiting us from the group GR8 Minds. They have been in our office to interview us for that other podcast. We will be about to her on the page. We come, Janine and David. We help you enjoy being on the podcast interview today. What is GR8 Minds?
Thank you, Daniel. GR8 Minds is a children's social prescribing service. We work with children and young people from 5 to 18 years old. So social prescribing is a term that means providing one-to-one support for children and young people, and it can be supporting them in a variety of different ways, and they might be going through certain issues that we can support them with. So some of the issues that we support young people might be stress and anxiety, self-confidence and self-esteem. They might want to know a little bit more about exercise, what is available in the local area that they can do. Some of our young people might be having sleep issues. We support them with that. We work within schools as well, and we can help them within their education as well. We have young people that might be going through elements of behavioural issues. They might need social support. We also help young people and children and families that might need some more information about special education needs, SEND needs, and how to go about getting an EHCP. And when they're at the GP, what the next steps are as well. And also, if young people have got long-term health conditions or disabilities, we can support their families and young people and signpost them on to other agencies. We do a lot of close work with children and young people with bereavement, if they've lost anybody, and how to manage their emotions regarding that as well. And also we work with families going through changing situations, like for instance divorce or relationship breakdowns.
What did the name GR8 Minds come from?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. So when I first started, I was asked to be part of the GR8 Minds project, and it was just starting up. And I think it came about in terms of thinking about mental health and all about looking after your mind and keeping it really healthy, and mental health being as important as our physical health. And hopefully it was maybe seen as a bit of a trendy way of writing great with the GR8, and thinking about us having great minds and doing everything we can to keep our minds really healthy, and you know, keep them as great as possible, really. So I presume that's where the name came from. I didn't come up with it, but yeah, I was asked to be part of it, so I presume it was all to do with having really great minds.
How did you first get involved with GR8 Minds?
So I first got involved around about 4 years ago now, just over 4 years, I think, maybe 4.5. And it was meeting with some of the doctors and the workers in Skipton, and they'd said that social prescribing, which Shamim has mentioned a little bit about was working for adults, but they wanted to see if it worked for young people as well, and test it out a little bit. So I did that. It was part-time to start off with, just to see if it would be a success. And then after a year, they said, oh yeah, we think it has been a success. We think that this is helping a lot of young people, and it's something that we want to carry on with. So after that, they made me full-time after about a year, and I've been here ever since. So yeah, I've been full-time for probably about 3.5 years now, in the role, as well as doing that first year as a pilot study. But yeah, and I was joined along the way by Shameen.
Yes, and I joined Great Minds about 2 years ago. And my own background was that I used to work in further education, and a great opportunity came with the Great Minds, and I'm fully enjoying my role and supporting young people and empowering them to make their choices now.
Could you tell us about some of the services you're after?
Yep. So we offer one-to-one support for young people, either in the GP practices that come under the Wharfdale, Airedale and Craven Alliance. So in the Keighley area, that's Ling House and North Street. In Craven, then it covers Settletown Head, Dinley House in Skipton, and over in Wharfdale. And then we've got the Ilkley practices, Grange Park in Burley, and up to Grassington as well. I don't think I've missed any out there, have I?
No, I don't think so, you have.
No. So yeah, we offer one-to-one support there, and then also in some of the schools as well. So we're in a number of the local secondary schools, offering some support for young people there, and connecting with them. And we've also got our Rise counselling service. So one of our colleagues, Hilary, is really good. She does some counselling covering right across the area. So I think she's kept quite busy by
quite
referrals
busy, yeah.
from us. Yeah. So yeah, she offers some counselling support as well as part of the Great Minds team.
What kind of people do you support?
So we support quite a lot of people. So we have 2 teams and the WACA alliances. So Wharfdale, Airedale and Craven alliances. We have the adults team. We have our team, which is the Great Minds team as well. So we support quite a lot of people. What we try to do is that we try to empower people to make the choices about looking after their mental health, well-being. We offer one-to-one support, and also signpost them onto other agencies as well.
Why is it important to look after our mental health?
I think it's really important to look after our mental health, just so that we stay feeling happy. I think that it's just as important as physical health, and sometimes we don't realise that. But it's about making sure that our emotions are in place and that we're feeling quite good about things, because when we're feeling low, it does affect how we act, how we behave, both towards ourselves and towards other people. It can impact large areas of our life in terms of our motivation and wanting to do things, and struggling with certain issues. It can affect our mood and how we act towards other people, everything. So I think it's really important to look after our mental health, to make sure that we keep on top of those things.
You have a new podcast. Could you tell us other?
So yes, we do have our Great Minds podcast, and it's delivered by myself, David, and our other colleagues as well. We did series 1. We talked to a lot of professionals who support young people and their services. So what they offer across our local community, and also looking at for the best ways to look after everybody's mental health. So we've got professionals on our first series, but our second series is more about talking to everybody really, young people, adults, everybody from all the community, and asking about what is mental health and how do they look after themselves. So second series is about talking to people about what is mental health, and our second series is up and running.
Yep, yeah, we just started it recently, haven't we?
Yes, we have. So if there's anybody out there who'd like to be part of our second series and wants to talk to us about their mental health or any issues that they've got going and how they look after themselves, please be in touch with us on our Great Minds website, and we'll be in touch with you.
Yep, and you can listen to our Great Minds podcast by clicking onto Spotify. It's on there. If you go through our website as well, then there's a link on there to get onto the podcast. And I believe it might even be on Google Podcasts as well now. But yeah, a few different ways to listen to the podcast there.
How can we find out other information about Great Minds?
Yep, so the main way really is our website, which comes under the wacalliance.co.uk. So yeah, if you just go to www.wacalliance.co.uk, and then there's a tab there which is all about services and projects, and one of those is the Children's Social Prescribing and the Great Minds service. So there's all the information on there. There's space where you can click on and listen to the podcast. You can find out information on the counselling service, the Children's Social Prescribing service, and you can self-refer on there. There's a self-referral form that you can fill in so that you can get an appointment with us that way, and you don't have to ring up the GPs. On the website, there's also a few other things like mental health, first aid tools, and just some sort of top tips that can help young people with their own mental health, and there's other things like links to both other websites that might be useful, and also things like mobile phone apps nowadays that can be really good for supporting with different issues. So yeah, there's lots of information on there.
What are Issue Minds? Great Minds. Please. Plan of the future.
So the Great Minds plans for the future is that we will still continue to support children and young people within the community, whether that's in schools and in our GP surgeries. We are hoping to do some more workshops and doing some more awareness on mental health. We also would like to continue with our podcasts. And one of the other projects that I'm working with is working with additional needs, children with additional needs, and supporting schools. So currently we're working with Beechcliff School and also Brooklands in Skipton.
What is your favourite part about working for Great Minds?
So I think my favourite part about it is that there's lots of variety. So no 2 days are the same. You get to meet lots of different people, and we're hearing about different things. So there's always different issues that crop up. But I think probably the best thing for me would be that we feel like we're hopefully supporting people and seeing the progress that they make, and that maybe that it makes a difference and helps them in their lives. And I think that's my favourite thing, seeing somebody who you've made a difference to, and I think I've played even a small part in that, and helped them out with what can be quite a difficult time for them. If they're coming to us, then quite often they might be struggling with something, and we've helped them through that situation. So I enjoy that.
And for myself as well, I think being part of the Great Minds, my favourite part is working with young people and seeing the change that they have, and again being a part of that change, and making them believe in themselves as well, that they are at the moment of being, going through issues and going through certain things. They might be going through quite a lot of anxiety and at a low point, but we always try to empower them and give them hope that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And after every rain, you might see a rainbow. And we give them that little bit of hope. And and also signpost them on to other services, for instance, like our Great Minds Rise Counselling support, introducing them to making those changes in lives that they can do and empower themselves. So being a part of a young person and seeing some sort of positive change for them.
That's all other questions for the episode. Thank you for coming and talking to us. We really look forward to both our podcast episode being released. For a sign off, anything else that you would like to say?
We'd just like to say a big thank you to People's First and you, Daniel, for interviewing us today and giving us the opportunity to share our great minds and let people know about us.
Yeah, thank you. It's really good to be a part of and to come down and see you guys today. So thank you for having us here and taking the time to do the podcast. So thanks, Dan.
Remember next time.
Yeah, thank you. Next time.
Remember to like, share and follow the show on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can find us by searching for the People First podcast. Thanks for listening.